The guidelines for streaming and posting Fate Grand Order gameplay videos. They are determining, and this is updated as of September 1st, so this is important. This is a whole month before they actually touch this thing. They're determining that there will be some videos that they do not want released, nor do they want streaming of certain content. So first off, before we get into it, we get more our thoughts and things, let's just say exactly what it's saying here. And they do note here that they are planning to gradually open up game content that can be streamed and posted. They are saying that. And they're also saying that videos that were distributed or posted before these guidelines were established do not apply to these guidelines. So anything before August 4th does not count. But, so these are all the things that we can stream and make videos on. So anything with part 1, anything with part 1.5, Epic of Remnants, the part 2, Cosmos and the Lost Belt, from Prologue all the way to Lost Belt 4 is fine. Main interludes, pretty much all of them, except for the newest one. So the Christmas event, the Seraph event, Oku event, Imaginary Scramble, all are good. Limited time events. So if the required participation is only clearing Fuyuki, you can do the story. So this is important. If they get a story that's like beyond that, then no. But if it's Fuyuki specific, you're fine. And of course, obviously, the other ones are summonings, weekday quests, advanced quests, strengthening quests, free quests, and high difficulty quests. So basically, if you're trying to do any sort of update content, you can do that. It's fine. You can do all the farming stuff, and obviously you can summon. It would be stupid to not let that happen. Also included rerun and light events as well for the events up here. So let's go down to areas where, this is directly translated by the way from JP. Let's go down to like what's not allowed. Everything after part 2, chapter 5, Lost Belt 5. Lost Belt 42. So basically everything after Lost Belt 5, story-wise, can't stream it, can't make videos on it. Main interlude. So chapter 5.5, Tunguska event, and 6.5 Trom cannot be streamed or cannot be made videos of. Limited time events that do not require Fuyuki's story, as I said earlier. So if it requires anything after Fuyuki, like Solomon completion or Lost But 1 completion, can't stream it or make videos of it. Also includes, can't do interlude stories, no music, no animations, no credits, no craft essence that attain from bond level reach, so nothing with that. And any of the Olga Marie quests. What does that mean? That means that hinders a lot. That means I can't make any sort of videos talking about servants from those times, or any sort of like event-wise from those times, or stories from those times. It means we can't use any music from those times. Also, thank you so much, Moji, Maximum Moji, for the 6 months. Thank you very much. We cannot do anything like that. This is on the board. And I know some people are saying like, oh, well, you should be able to do servant reviews. You should be able to do that. But if they're a part of the event, technically, they said refrain from streaming or posting videos containing the following content. Servants are a part of that content, especially some like really important servants, like Nido Chris Alter. That's important. Kukulkan, also important servant. Are you gonna let us talk about those? Where's the line? And so this is a bad sign. Ivy, I know you don't play many other gacha games, but Honkai Star Rail you definitely into, and you also told me of a couple. Yeah, we also recently learned about Unison League. And I know content creating is a little new, but have you heard of anything like this where a company is like restricting like the community from making content about their game? Like,
I know I am rather new when it comes to creating content, especially for gachas in general. I have never heard of this in my entire life, to be honest with you. I've always heard and seen companies, software companies, game companies of all kind, right? They always encourage sharing it, what you love about it, and Sorry, just give me a second here.
Yeah, no worries.
I feel that when you are truly passionate and enjoy something, it's always been encouraged to share it with your friends and people all around you. So I've never heard of a gotcha game limit what you can stream. I think it really hurts them, if
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah.
It hurts the content creators that are truly passionate about the game. It hurts the players who have put so much time, money, they've invested so much into this.
Mhm.
And for as long as they have, for about 10 years now, yes?
Yeah.
And a lot of you have accounts in Japan, and they've already made that quite difficult for you guys to even access to begin with. And now you're not even allowed to talk about it or even learn what's new on that end. And
Mhm.
that's really disheartening, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I feel for those who have found fate through this game or love fate in general. And it feels like they want it to end. Like,
Mhm.
there's a lot of doom posting out there, and we're all trying to be hopeful. We're all trying to be really, really lenient on, this is an old game, it's an old engine, old values, it was released um, 2 years after in Japan, right? But how long can we be lenient for?
Mhm. Yeah.
We want the game to live. We've put so much time, money, effort, love. Content creators, that Fate's been something that I truly enjoy in general, right? Fate as a series.
Mhm.
And it's helped me through some tough times. And I've known others, such as yourself, where fate has helped them through really tough times. And to see it be treated like this is really, really sad. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. So I think that insight is important, and yeah, I'm sad too, because it clearly shows that they don't care about content creators in any way. And I know they've said that in a way in the past, but like there have been a time where we had like an
Hmm.
ambassador, so to speak. But hello, Shadow Song, how you doing?
Oh,
Uh,
hello. Welcome in.
mhm. And I know that Pete has been mentioning in the chat, like, oh, well, other Atlas has done this with Persona, right? And other companies that are doing this to like prevent spoilers. But
But
with a
this game,
with a gotcha
it's.
game, it feels a little different.
Hmm.
Like with Persona, that game it has a life. It has a life cycle, right? And they just want to protect it for a little bit. It's like, all right, so for the first couple weeks, first month, don't show anything beyond a certain point. Okay, that makes sense, right? After that month, go crazy. They don't care. But this, like FGO, as you mentioned, it's 2 years ahead. They're way in JP. That's 2 years worth of time, even on their own YouTube channel, that they've spoiled the story. If people really wanted to look this stuff up, it's out there for them. So to all of a sudden say, hey, content creators and people streaming, don't stream this because we don't want people to be spoiled. This is a
It
slippery
seems like a
slope.
weak reason.
It is, and I feel
Hmm.
like it's a slippery slope because if they're gonna do this now, who's to say they're not gonna do something later? Like, you know what? Just don't stream it all. Like,
Hmm.
mm, I think Kira mentioned it earlier in the chat here. Nintendo did something, was trying to do this early on. They were very resistant to anyone making any sort of content for their games. Like, if they were, even to the point it's like, oh, well, you got to join like a specific program, and if you don't, we'll flag your stuff. They've changed since then, but like that was a really rough time, and it hurts me to see that Aniplex, Sony, is going down this route, and it feels like a very top-down maneuver that doesn't necessarily care about the fan base in their way. They're just like, okay, well, we're shutting this down. Um,
Hmm.
and they're really trying to rush to end a Fate Grand Order's story as of next year. They're going to do whatever it takes to have that happen.
But then what's if the story does end, then what happens to those who have spent so much to level up their, beloved waifus, husbandos all through the years? 10 years. It's nearly 10 years, and people put so much money. Like I said, I know I keep repeating this, but it's an investment. Where did that investment go?
Right.
A rush to end?
Exactly. And I think we all know what it is. It's like, I don't think they know what they want to do. Because one thing that I've noticed, they do surveys, which is something that not many companies did at the time. Now we're starting to see a lot more gaming companies do surveys, at least on the gacha space.
Right.
And a lot of what they did, a lot of the content that they made was based around these surveys and the responses to them. The reason why we got the Solomon movie and the Camelot movie and their Babylonian anime is because of these surveys. And in the survey, they have said multiple times, when the story ends, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to just end the service? Do you want a new game? Do you want the story to keep going? And it was like overwhelmingly 60 to 70% said, no, we want the game to keep going. And they're like, I don't think they know how. I think they've literally written themselves into a corner. The creator of Fate doesn't want to work on FGO anymore. He wants to move on to do other projects.
Right.
And they haven't found a writer that they feel confident enough, at least that they're publicly talked about, that they're confident in. So, yeah, I mean, I like some of the newer stuff. I like Ordeal Call 1 and 2. I haven't gotten into Ordeal Call 3, but if you're into Fate Extra, you're going to enjoy this stuff. This is some good stuff. And now I can't talk about it. I can't discuss it. Like, not at least in a video format. So yeah, no, you can do it in a text format if you want. So places like Reddit, you can post about it on Twitter, in your Discord, stuff like that. But the people who stream it, people who make videos on it, can't talk about it, can't share their passion. And that's part of the reason why people can have a far outreach when it comes to talking about a game like this. This is how you get players interested into your franchise, into the game. Like, some people don't even know about Fate outside of the not safe for work images that are spreading around online. Like, and at this rate, that's about to be the only thing. And I guess now Honkai Star Rail doing a Fate collab. But that's really about it. That has nothing to do with FGO. So I just feel like they're really hampering. They just say, you know what, we don't care. And my other point before I give you some time to speak on it, because I know you also have some stuff to say, is Albert has said a phrase multiple times that, oh man, you guys and your pesky Clairvoyance EX. But this most recent anniversary, and I remember noting it, oh, we got something in store for your Clairvoyance EX, so stay tuned for that. And I'm like, was this it?
It doesn't seem so rewarding to learn.
Yeah, it seems like a hindrance. Like, they really are trying to do this. And I get, that just stuck with me. Maybe Albert, I'm pretty sure Albert was just being the voice, right? I'm pretty sure he doesn't care that much. He's an FGO player. But when you work for a company, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm not gonna lie, it makes me wonder, right? We were all so hyped for the 7th anniversary here in NA. I remember watching this on stream with you all. It was so exciting. I had so much fun. And I remember everyone being shocked that they brought Destiny summons early, is the quote. And I'm wondering if that had anything to do with maybe some sour feelings. Like, how come they get to have it early, right? And they know about this early. We have to wait for content to come out. Is this what it's all about? Or were we given Destiny summons just to ease the blow of what's to come later?
I think it was a nice smokescreen, especially when we see what they did with JP, how they used a very popular unit that people have been asking for as a screen for a very half-baked and almost a whale rewarding mechanic. It's like, oh, but hey, here's this servant that you really wanted. Here you go. Don't worry about this. Don't look behind the curtain. So I think that's the same thing could be said here. And I agree. Another point that was posted here. There's talk of a theory going around that they're trying to go end of service, like they are trying to kill the game.
It seems that way with the way they're treating it.
But they don't want to say they're killing the game because
people will stop. They'll
freak out. So they want to like silently kill it and move on. So it's a shame because it kind of goes back to what we talked about a few months ago. How it feels like they're riding on brand recognition to carry them through instead of doing what they can to improve the game. Yeah, they've done things like animation updates that most gacha games don't do. Yeah, they've strengthened the older servants, something again other gacha games don't do. But there is still room for improvement. While FGO has done a lot good, there's a lot of other areas where it's like, okay, you can do this better. Why aren't you? They don't want to. They don't have the staff for it. Regardless, we have other games and other game companies that are trying to make these changes and respond a lot faster. Let's talk about Wuwa. How they had a very, very bad launch, if we're being real. They had a lot of bugs, mistranslations, people not able to buy the gems. So what did they do? They literally responded to feedback. They made changes. They offered free stuff. They said, guys, we're sorry, we're gonna work better. We're sorry, we're gonna work better. Had they been silent, the game would be dead. But they responded so quick and they gave so much that it's relevant, I would say. And that's something you can speak to as well, because like we all kind of played the game at once. We hit the ground running, so we were there for that.
We were given quite a bit. I've never seen a gacha game give so much to the community for bugs and inconveniences and what have you. I was blown away. I was wondering, is this for real? Is this a bait or no? Truthfully, a product cannot improve without feedback. And previously, I've seen how trying to be critical of FGO has created rather a backlash. But now it's at the point where we kind of have to say something for answers, and if we really want to keep the game going to be alive and whatnot. So
exactly. I feel like, hey Kimba, how you doing? It's great to see you.
Welcome.
And Brawl also has a good point. Like Wuwa, we got you. Nikkei, we got you. We got you. Lasengle, huh? What's that Parker from the west? Like, yeah. Huh? So, yeah, no. And I know people say, oh, is this NA only or a JP only or is this NA too? I don't think you can take the chances. I don't think you want to take the chances. Kita-shan already stated that he's gotten a warning. And in the past, I believe they were testing this and trying to do this before. There was a period of time where almost every content creator got hit when Sony was going after people using their stuff. I'm gonna say names. Nothing's bad. Mist at one point used assets for the game, just like we use assets for the game for our sprites for our stuff. He used it for his stream. They took down and banned his channel for a while because they used the assets. So he had to change how he did things and change the assets for his channel. Kita-shan got struck down for using FGO music in the past. Gina reviews, same thing. We actually were. I had to take down a couple videos before. So the fact that they're going this far now, again, is a slippery slope. They can go further.
Yep. And it's really disheartening to even make any more content for them in general, because what if it just all of our hours of hard work of writing his story with these lovable characters, using those assets for sprites and whatnot, just for it to be taken down. So we may as well not take the risk anymore. It's what it seems, but you know, skits won't end. I mean, FGO related, maybe we'll have to stop going forward. But
yeah,
what do you think about that?
I was annoyed earlier. I think you might have remembered. I was today, guys. I was really gonna go over the 10 service that you need to like roll for next year at FGO. That's coming to NA. I had a whole thing for it. I had already come up with a list and worked about it with Tristan about a month or two ago, and I was gonna pull the trigger today, doing it on stream. I don't think I can do that technically now because of this, and I don't want the channel to get struck down or banned. And I know people's like, oh well, again, I think you could use servant reviews. It's the point that a bot doesn't care. If a bot's programmed to take out something, it will take it out. And YouTube's system is very notorious and very strong for just taking down channels wholesale because someone put a copyright claim in.
You see, I have an issue with that because I have actually composed my own song, and I got copyrighted for my own song that I composed. So I have an issue with that. So the fact that anyone can just say that upsets me. But yeah, it's really, really disheartening that we have to think twice about the skits that we had planned to post. Maybe there's a reason why we haven't even gotten to upload the next one, even though we were so excited to. We had really nice stories to tell about our favorite servants, and it was such a joy to be able to write skits with like you, Brawl, on stream, and you know, brainstorming what we can do together. But this sucks.
Yeah.
I know that Fate is its own brand, right? But if the assets come from FGO, music, sprites,
The backgrounds,
the story, well, our limits.
These are, yeah, and Sony, especially what the moves they've been making lately, and like in terms of outside of the gacha space, it definitely feels like that they're making a lot of top-down decisions across the board, and very much caring about the bottom line, not necessarily feeling threatened in any of the spaces that they control. And with them having one of the biggest gacha games out there, it makes a lot of money. They're like, okay, well, either we're going to end it to make something new, and maybe we can port it to the PlayStation 5, which I don't know. I'm not for. So to touch on the Grooverse stories ending potentially, I think it, as she just said, is really hard to continue if we have the fear that we can't use the assets anymore, because eventually Sony's going to update this. Because here's something that I didn't get to that we will get to in a minute. These guidelines are subject to revision without notice. So that means at any point in time, they can just update this and change the rules. And I don't necessarily feel comfortable with that. That would mean we would need to make all new art assets for every servant, all new art assets for the backgrounds, commission music or use music that's royalty free or somewhere else. We would have to do a lot to make these skits happen. Yeah, no, they could literally pull a Dark Vader. Like I've changed the deal. I've altered the deal. Pray that I don't alter it further.
That's what it feels like is happening right now, to be quite honest with you.
And I know here, like, you may see on the screen here, pretty much live streaming and video posting are only possible on video posting sites that have signed a music license agreement, a music usage license agreement with the Japanese Society for Rights, Authors, Composers, and Publishers. So it's definitely seemed like a Japanese thing, but they are not outside of being able to do a copyright claim on YouTube. On top of that, here, and then I see here too, like, okay, cool. Well, when you get to October, the October 1st, you'll be able to stream and make stuff for Lost Bolt 5 and 5.5, and in November you could do like Lost Bolt 6 and 6.5, and in December you can finally do Chapter 7. But it's like, but what about Ordeal Call? What about Lost Bolt 7 Part 2? Like, it's... Imagine if we were caught up, guys. Imagine if NA was caught up to JP and they were like, hey, yo, so you can't talk about any of the stuff we released in the past year.
We'd have to take down every freaking video that's on a channel if we were. Oh,
but here's the thing, right? And I know the end of Guru lore and skits and things are very sad. This does not mean, if we do decide to go down this route, it doesn't mean that the stories end. It means the stories change. We are still storytellers. We still have composed ideas. And just because we can't use Fate as a medium anymore to tell those stories and tell those ideas doesn't mean we're just going to quit and not make anything. We got stuff.
Oh, hell no. We still have a lot of stuff we've been working on.
And we still got stuff we've been working on. There's still other games, too, that we have a lot of talent under our table. And certain other companies are pretty okay with us using their stuff to make content for their game. For those people who don't know, it starts with H and ends in Oyoverse. So, you know, and you guys are already kind of seen it on the channel, right? You've seen the new sprites. So, you know... There's a reason why the Twitch changed to Gacha Gurus. Is I know, I felt it in the ether that something like this could happen. And if we continue to go down just connecting and being tethered to just Fate, or at least Fate Grand Order, that eventually something would happen that would take the entire channel down. I don't want that. I want to be able to continue to create stories for you guys. I want to connect with the community. Ivy here been doing a wonderful job connected to you guys, and like you don't understand how many times we talk about y'all in a positive way about how much stuff you react to on stream or how you're going to react to a certain video or anything. Like, it touches us and we care about you a lot. So the content's not going to end. Will we still talk about Fate stuff? Of course. We'll talk about like Fate Extra Record. We'll talk about Fate Samurai Remnant. We'll talk about the Honkai Star Rail Fate Stay Night collab. The Fate content won't end entirely, but Fate Grand Order specifically and the Guruverse skits, that's where we get to a bit of a point where there's a realistic chance that'll stop. We've already talked to the rest of the team. They're all echoing how we're feeling. It was just like, man.
Well, that sucks. So we have this idea to do with...
Yeah, exactly. You got 10 days to claim a free SSR. The Misaki character may as well be yang. I'm transported to another dimension.
Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to also talk about with you, Misaki, is that I don't think Guru's gets entirely end, but if it's going to be related to the Fate universe, we're definitely going to have to change it, as you said.
Right.
But there is still so much potential for us to work on these skits. It's just unfortunately a lot of your favorite servants may or may not be featured any longer.
Right. And that's the thing. I think they will backpedal if the bottom line gets hit. Vote for the wallet. I mean, that is true. If you vote with your wallet, then they will have to respond, right? Like, the big change that they made in JP to the serving points, adding those 2 buffs in without really adjusting it, they backpedaled immediately, which is new for them. They normally don't do that. But it depends on if people raise a stink. There's a rumor that they are doing this in response to Japanese complaints about spoilers. I don't know how true that is. We mentioned earlier, it seems like a very weak reason. And like I said, this affects JP content creators. Like, so I don't know if they would be happy about this either. JP players would love this change. They were advocating for it. Man.
Well,
That shows you where they
well,
value, right?
it seems a little petty,
Mm-hmm.
especially when there's a lot of non JP who playing JP put so much into that server as well, and they're probably gonna see a lot of backlash.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right. I see.
What
Valor.
their actual sorry, what was
No, no, go ahead. No, no, please. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
I'm just wondering what their actual goal is here. Is it to completely end FGO entirely, like you said, without saying it?
Mm-hmm.
Or, because if we think about it this way, FGO is a very, very old game, so I'm not sure how it's being integrated and whatnot, how it would be more expensive or take more resources to make it more current to how
Mm-hmm.
other gotcha games are now, or if it's just better entirely to create a new game, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on here? Are we gonna be promised a new game? That'd be quite nice, but what happens to everything we've invested into this one?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
It's
So.
another case of, oh, we got Overwatch. We have Overwatch.
Yeah,
We
right.
learned.
So looking at this post here, this is from
Mhm.
Plushy, apparently. Not saying this is a majority opinion from Japanese community, but sentiments like this is why we'll never win. And it's from a certain content creator that posted. I thought I was the only one who was annoyed, so I'm glad you said this, especially foreigners. Please don't get involved in FGO. Oh Lord. Oh.
Oh.
This is from the channel owner, by the way. Here's the problem. The guideline isn't just for Chapter 3 or their call. It's for Lostful 5 and onward. YouTubers who break the guidelines of Chapter 3 are the cancers of the FGO YouTuber world. As an individual FGO YouTuber, I hope they will be officially punished. Wow. Granted, this is a one guy situation, right? This just because this one guy said this doesn't mean everyone feels this, and I don't want to brush that under for a generalization. But if we get, as we learn, the extreme side of the conversation will generally be the loudest, right? And that is not excluded in other countries as well. So if it's true, if this is what they're doing, and they're just saying, "Hey, cut out the West," when the West has been actually doing a very good job of like spreading, and they've been like doing a lot of things for the West. I don't know. I think this just might be coming from jealousy. If this is true, if we're gonna entertain this idea and this is true, um, there were times, as you said, that they got upset. Like, oh, how they get Destiny summons early? Oh, how they have this special subtitles just for them? Oh, how did they have this banner just for them? And it's like,
I
well,
don't have proof of it, but I can only imagine that if they got Destiny summons and we supposedly got it a year and a half earlier or 2 years earlier, then
mm-hmm.
I can see where the anger could spur up from that or stir up from there.
Right. And as I said, a lot of creators are Japanese centric, even in a world setting. That's correct. And if that's the case, though, um, that just leads you to question: Why would you make content for? Um, why would you continue to make content for something like that? Why would you support if they don't support you? And that was a large reason why, like, I stopped too. Um, I just had a lot of conversations, had a lot of reflections, and then I would see things that the company themselves would do, almost taking from the community. And this isn't like a conspiracy theory, this is like a thing. Early days, it was really popular to do role videos and like really pop, just like now, really popular. So they decided that they were going to have their own version of a role video with Albert early on. This happened like in the early days. And then it got to the point where it was really popular to say, hey, this was coming up next at FGO. So what did they do? Now they're doing like these roadmaps now that they weren't doing before. Didn't care. What else? These old people care about the animations of the service. What they start doing, they're advertising the animations of the service in almost the exact same way that other content creators were doing. Attack, attack, skill, skill. Double Phantasm. And I'm like, so y'all just not interested in getting content creators involved in the conversation. You just want to take the ideas and do it yourself. Uh, that's so for me. It's been like this for a while, and I guess maybe there was hope that maybe they would change, especially because they started listening. But this just kind of shows that they don't care about that.
Truthfully, anything that they post or update in JP is already immediately spoiled.
Yep.
So
From their
I don't
own
know.
channel. like
Mhm.
like if we can, like I can go to their channel and just see all the stuff that they want. Like
I'm just confused. What is the real goal here? Is there
mhm,
something bigger going on? Is this a
right.
fan fight? What's so what?
Exactly. So like yeah, like look, all of this. Oh man, CL's in FGO. Oh man, another BB. All these servers. I can look at this on their main website if I really wanted to see what was happening. So what do you mean we can't discuss these things when you're showing it yourself? Like there's literally almost a
Don't
million
stream that, Misaki.
Oh
Don't
man, I
show their
forgot.
page.
Dang,
You
I can't
can't
even
show
show their
that.
page. Darn.
Nope.
Darn it. Let me back out. But it's only a million people.
You just check out Chaldea Guru's YouTube channel instead. Huh?
That-
Aren't you guys at Lost Bell 4?
they said the part that you is bot. The part you run about is not bot striking channels, but rather people reporting it. I think it's a combination of both. The way that YouTube works, if you put in a claim for music, YouTube bots take it from there and it will claim automatically. So, but yes, people can report, and I don't deny that that is happening. But I'm saying it's very easy for YouTube to just take down an entire video and then claim it. It's like, oh well, because you used music here, we're taking it. Another, having been around quite a while, I tell you, it's always been Japan first. The rest get whatever we get, and they'll be happy. Yes, exactly, Kimba. It's a horrible appeal process for YouTube. Like, horrible. So, like, and that's why, like, I'll use another company. League of Legends, you don't get copyright strike for using their music. You know why? Because they actually don't mind if people make content of their game, of their characters, using their music. Even, like, KDA. Like, the big stuff.
Dude, it's like, if you use their stuff, people will be like, oh, this sounds f***ing amazing. Where's this from? Oh, it's from here? What's this all about? Oh, they have these games too? These modes? Oh, look at these characters. Same thing has been happening for Fate, and then now they're hurting themselves by doing this, I think. They could be using this as a marketing or a marketing strat, honestly, to advertise it, so.
Right. Exactly. So, I don't know how we're going to be talking about FGO on the channel anymore. I'm not sure how that's going to really go. If I do talk about it, if we do talk about it, it'll probably be in terms of like a general how the game has prospered, maybe like revenue reports or something like that. I can't really tell you.
Are those spoilers too?
You can't know how much FGO made last month. Don't look at that.
I mean, it's subjected to change, right? Are we supposed to like watch this page like a hawk?
Right, exactly. Like if I don't have this page favorited, if you don't have this page favorited, we will never know. And again, I know there's going to be some people it's like, well, you don't have to be that paranoid. It's only for JP, or you can still do this type of thing. And it's like, I think they've just eroded enough goodwill in the past few months to where I can't trust it. I can't trust it. So you can't continue to build your house on a foundation made of a weak foundation. You can't do it. You do that, eventually your whole house is going to crumble. So I'm not going to be like, oh man, my channel might not be terminated. Oh man, our Twitch channel might not be banned. Nah. I just, at that point, I'll just wash my hands of it, take a step back, and be like, all right, well, I'll just casually enjoy it, not drop a single dime in this game again, and have a nice day.
Thank you for all of your hard work.
Thank you, Aura. The IRS, when I tell them I haven't filed my taxes because they're spoilers.
Like, anything new that they announce in JP, are we just not allowed to, just turn our heads the other way?
If it's story related, if it's not Fuyuki like bound, we can't even talk about it.
I'm trying to see this. I'm trying to put myself as a JP player that's been playing for as long as they have, right? If I love the game so much, why would I gatekeep people from seeing it and enjoying it like me? It's hard. It's hard to be selfish like that.
At least for FGO, I'm not willing to tether the entire channel, my team, and my community to something that will eventually sink. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to do that to you, Ivy. I'm not going to do that to anyone. So, I'm going to put the team and the community first, and we are committed to making content that we are proud of. That's the thing. We're going to make good content, and we're not going to make it to appease any sort of certain people. We're just going to make good content, and we hope you guys enjoy what we have in store.